I'm Dan, and this is 10,000 Hours of Indie, a podcast exploring new music and delving deeper into what goes on in the background of the independent music industry. I'm a musician and passionate music lover, and I wanted to delve deeper into new music in the independent scene around the world. I also saw this as a chance to help artists connect and share their stories, so if there's someone you hear and you want to find out more about, every podcast has links in the show description. Get involved, help this community grow, follow on the 10,000 Hours of Indie socials, you can find all the links in the show description. And also feel free to email me about anything music related, 10,000indie@gmail.com. I'm open to any ideas and love listening to your promos.
Iris are a Finnish indie rock duo consisting of Sam Weckman on vocals and guitar and Mikko Kaakkuriniemi on drums. In October, the duo released their first album, One, which crosses genres and musical boundaries with ease. So I wanted to find out a little bit about them. Sam and Mikko are both here. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Nice to be here.
I've read that you wanted to make music that sounds like nothing you've heard before. So what would you define your genre as?
Yeah, that's a tricky one because I think it's rock music at its core, but we have so many different influences from jazz or punk rock or even like hip hop or Afrobeat music. It varies so much because we're such fans of music in general. A bit difficult to know what kind of label suits us, but I think it's alternative rock or alternative, bit of a psychedelic experimental rock music. We like to have a coherent, like a journey of a song. So we're not a jam band per se. So
it's still quite structured.
Yeah, it's very structured. So, exactly. I think alternative rock suits pretty good for me.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of what speaks to you and what makes you do what you do. Nothing like, we're going to do this now because there's a style which is like that, but all this other stuff combined inside yourself and you just let it out with the two of us.
Mikko, you've played drums for some big bands here in Finland, including Apocalyptica and Van Herzen Brothers. But What about you, Sam? You're sitting in your home studio at the moment. Are you also professionally a musician? This is kind of a project.
Yeah, well, I've been playing here and there, but mostly I've been doing music on very small experimental punk stuff, and I kind of like to work from the basement and kind of once in a while to really kind of try and do stuff, and I've been trying to own my craft. But this album, we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and we finished the album, and I think this is it's an album that I'm very proud of. It feels very, very good to be now promoting it and just letting people know that we have this amazing album that we really like. We've been enjoying this process very much.
How did the two of you end up getting together and starting this project?
First, we were we were good friends, just fans of music, and we already listened to a lot of music together and just fans of music, and it was a very natural process for us to get into the playing with each other. And we didn't really play for at least a couple of years before we started playing together. We were just hanging around, and so it was very natural once we got in to the room and started playing with instruments, and it came very naturally after that.
Has it been difficult to fit around your schedule, Mikko? Because probably you've been on the road quite a lot as well.
Apocalyptica is the main band for touring now. I haven't played with Van Herzen Brothers for 9 years. It's in the past. So it's very structured. So it's not that difficult to get everything going. Maybe the challenge is that I live in Barcelona and Sam lives in Helsinki. So every time I'm in Helsinki, we try to get a couple of hours in and just, play.
So you have actually recorded the whole album together. You haven't done it separately from the different countries. Okay.
Yeah, exactly right. We recorded all the basic parts, the main bones and the structures of song together, either with me playing the bass or usually guitar or bass, and Mikko playing the drum set. Most of the songs are one takes of that kind of a setup. So after that, we started to work on the other instruments and all the embellishments and stuff on top of that basic structure. We wanted it to sound like a band, and we wanted it to sound organic and have the feel of like people playing music, as opposed to like click tracks. We didn't use any click tracks recording the songs. We just had each other on our monitoring, so we could hear like everything and kind of react in real time to each other when recording the songs. So it was really fun in that way too.
So what are your influences as a duo, and do they come out in the music?
Oh yeah, yes. My core is there are so many moments in my life where I played a lot of different kind of stuff. I have different personalities in every genre that I felt that I'm diving in. So funk, soul. I played free jazz when I was 20, this kind of a Norwegian EZM records, kind of a Jan Garbarek kind of a style. All this James Brown stuff, then Mars Volta, whatever, progressive. So it's a lots of different kind of things that I feel natural inside me, and that definitely comes out on this album.
Any particular bands that have really been your sort of influence for this in particular?
I don't think I can name any, because we were so into our own music. Of course, if I start listening to the album, I can tell that there is something, but nothing comes to my mind right now.
Yeah, there's so many influences. It's difficult to like pinpoint one or two, but yeah, all kinds of stuff. 70s funk from Meters or Dr. John, or modern rock stuff, Mars Volta, and also like more metal stuff, Tool and of course Soundgarden and Nirvana, and Nine Inch Nails was a big one for us too. Maybe we both are big fans of Nine Inch Nails and Trends, but just a lot of different kind of stuff. Yeah. Fela Kuti is a very big one for us too, and all that stuff is great. Talking Heads, and just an infinite amount of good music out there. So yeah.
So moving on to the album itself, you released the first album at the end of October. Tell me a little more about the album. What are the sort of themes and the feelings in the album?
Yeah, it's definitely a journey. The album as a whole it works best as a listen from the beginning to an end. But all that 10 songs are kind of different corners of the same world. So every song has a little bit of different kind of a feel to it. I think it has this unique universe to it. So it's definitely this sort of journey from a darker kind of feel to a catharsis. So I think it really has this release at the end of it. So it's a good listen. I hope if you're interested at all in like guitar-based rock music, it works best when you listen to it from the beginning to the end. So I really like that aspect of it. It's not just a collection of songs. It's a whole.
Sound-wise, there are a lot of different sounds and different grooves and just different kind of stuff, different vibes, different atmospheres, and a lot of everything. And if you take one song here and one song there, they might sound a different band song-wise. But when you listen the whole album through, it's like all makes sense. You figure it out. Okay, it's the same band.
Yeah, and I think that's a good aspect of the album, and I'm really proud of that aspect of it too. That because we have so many influences and we like so many styles of music, it could have been like a challenge to really put it all together and have a coherent like a one thing, as opposed to like 10 totally different songs. But it just kind of happened. We were so lucky that it really kind of worked out, and it sounds like a band.
Everything you've said there, the soul and funk thing, and all of the bands you mentioned as well, it is, as you say, it's a story, but it's got all those things, and everything you've said I can hear in the album. I think the one sort of defining flow is obviously the vocal is the same the whole way through. You can always tell it's one singer. And I don't know, the way you play together gives it that theme as well, I think.
Great to hear.
I think it's also like the fact that we didn't use any click tracks or stuff like that. So it's all like we doing it together. It's a massive statement nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the album format is coming back. So it's nice to have a whole album that you should play from start to finish. What is your starting point when trying to create the sound of a band you've never heard before? As I said in the intro, you wanted to create something that hadn't been done. So where do you begin with that process?
It's mostly intuition and just trusting your gut feeling and trust your partner in crime, so to speak, and be brave about it and go like boldly forward to wherever you kind of feel like going with it, and just trust in the process eventually. It really helps when you like start doing stuff, and every once in a while you kind of find something that really ticks your ears, or really that's something you grab onto and like, what is that? And that's really cool. That feels really good, and you just kind of follow that and try to piece it together. So it's really not just one idea, or so it has kind of a flow thing to it. And at the end of it, you don't really remember what you've done. You just hear the thing and like, oh, we did that. So it's very intuition-based kind of a process for us, I think.
If you start banging your head to the wall too much, it's a wrong way. And it all kind of came really naturally for us, the sound thing. And I'm not talking about mixing per se, but, the experimenting. And almost all the time it was like, you had already a kind of a sound on the bass or a guitar, and that defines for me bass of a drum sound, and we think much alike. So it's been really easy. It was all just, I do this tuning, I build up this kind of drum kit.
So great fun to really get the basic tracks recorded because we had all of Mikko's drum sets within the studio space, so we could really design the whole thing, and Mikko could really design the whole set from like the ground up based on the musical idea. Almost all the songs have a different drum set on them, and different kind of tunings and different kind of like dampenings and stuff on it. So it was really fun to have like a wider range of palettes which to draw from.
So what was your sort of starting point for each song? Did they come from a guitar riff or a drum rhythm, or was everything started in the same way or different?
Every song was quite different from each other. The first song we kind of got around to is the last song on the album, The River. That was based on a piano thing that I figured out. Actually, we were at the same room together. Mikko was washing the dishes on like the other room, and I was playing the piano, and I kind of found this progression stuff, and I put my phone on the piano and kind of recorded all that idea, and that's actually the recording that starts the song. And you can hear Mikko like sneezing in the background on the intro, which I thought was kind of funny. And it really works as an intro too. So then it kind of bursts into this like a big rock song that it's finale of the album also too. So that was like a piano-based thing, which we translated into like a guitar-driven rock song together, and there was a couple of songs that were like drum beats, Mikko's drum beats, and we kind of composed on top of that the whole thing. And some of them were like chord progressions on a guitar, and some of them like the bass thing was like the bass line. So every song was different kind of thing. But usually the music came first, and after that, the words and the stories and that part of it. Yeah.
Okay, if push came to shove, what's your favourite track on the album?
It changes every day. I can't say which one is my favorite. On a different day, I get different kicks from everything.
Yeah, I think me too. I don't have one favorite. It changes all the time. But maybe the latest favorite one is maybe the Rubicon. But it's going to change soon. So when this comes out, it's already something else, I think.
I've got the same. I've got The Rubicon and The River. I think The River is the perfect album ender because it builds and it starts with that slow piano, as you mentioned, and by the end of it, it's this big rock song. So I think, for me, that's the way an album should end.
Oh, that's so good to hear. Nice. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Onto your social media. You're only really on Instagram, and you've got a lot of stills from your videos and a few quite good reviews in Finnish on there so far. Is that right?
Yeah.
You've also got a 6-picture collage of the band. Does that mean every time you post, you have to put 3 posts up so they stay in the right place?
Yeah, exactly. That's a tricky one. But yeah, you can kind of control that. Even if you post, you don't have to have them on the front page. So we can post if we want to.
Right. Okay. You've also got one video on YouTube for Vitas Caligo. It's quite a weird video. Tell us the sort of background of the video and who made it with you.
We filmed it in the early summer. It was quite hard to film it because it really required a certain darkness to it, and we had to wait for the sun to come down. So it was nighttime shoots, and quite a few of them. I filmed most of it myself, and I had Niklas Pennanen filming all the other stuff that it's like moving camera and with me in the shot. I had the vision of it to be like sort of a struggle, kind of nightmarish vibe to it. I like a lot of movies that has that sort of dystopian vibe to it and all that imagery, like the darkness of it. So I really wanted it to kind of feel like that. But I wanted it to be like a story of someone who's really trying to get somewhere and struggling to get there and that sort of nightmarish thing. I think it fits where the album starts. It would be great if we get to do like a video for like all of the songs. That would be quite a big endeavor, but I hope we get there. If we get enough resources, we'll definitely do that and just kind of build the story from there as an imagery too. Yeah.
Live shows. Is there an intention to make this a live project at some stage?
Yeah, definitely. We would really like to get to do like a big show of it, and we have quite a lot of ideas for it too, and we've been thinking about how it looks and what's the feeling of it and what is the visual world of it and everything. We have plans, but we just at this point we need resources because we live in different countries and also we have all this other stuff that we have to work around. So basically it's a resource thing.
How do you go about making these songs right for the live setting? Because obviously it's not going to do it with just the two of you. You're going to have to get some other musicians in and sort of maybe rework a few of the tracks as well, I assume. Yeah,
I think it would be the group would be like 2 guitar players, a bass guitar player, and maybe even a keyboard player. But if we would have all the resources that we want, then we would also have like background singers and percussion player too. So it would be a very kind of a big ensemble on stage. But it would be great. We would really like to do it that way. Yeah,
it would be a proper old school band in that sense.
So what about future plans? I mean, we've talked about the live side. Have you already started doing some collaborations for the next album, or do you just want to see what happens with this one first?
At the time being, we're really focused on this one and getting it out there and letting people know. But we do have a lot of songs that we're working on, and we'll definitely do more songs. And when we get into the same room,
music never stops. So you don't stay still or sit still.
Yeah. Do you think once you've played live, it might be more than the two of you recording, or is it always going to be the base of just the two of you in the recording process?
Yeah, that's a good question. It kind of depends. It's not impossible that it could like grow into a bigger band thing, but I think we have such a good chemistry with the two of us. It's really hard to find people that could fit in with us. But it's not impossible. It will really require a person who has the same sort of flexibility and chemistry. But it's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but I see more, even though the chemistry and all matches up. So it would be more like hired guns for the rehearsing and doing the show.
So the final question, what music are you listening to at the moment that listeners to the podcast may not be aware of and should take some time to check out?
I've been listening to a lot of Idols, IDLES, Idols. That's sort of a big band, so many of your listeners will probably know them. Sleaford Mods, I've been liking them. Björk always, she's quite big, quite a big an artist. I just saw a documentary about Nick Cave's, one of his first bands, The Birthday Party. So that was a very interesting documentary about the band, The Birthday Party. So I would recommend that as a documentary, yeah.
I have been listening to Catriel y Paco Amoroso, Argentinian, kind of two guys, kind of funky new soul, kind of white Latin vibes and stuff like that. And then I go back to grunge all the time. That's my safe place.
Okay, so for anyone wishing to find out more, the band are on Instagram and have a video for Vitas Caligo on YouTube. I by Sun Iris is out now via all streaming platforms. Sam and Mikko, great to chat with you. I hope lots of people listen to the album, and I really look forward to seeing you live at some stage.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dan. It was a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for having us.
Thank you. It was great.